Well, we have finally made it to our conclusion part of our story. So let's take a little reminder. We have done our introduction where we set up our story. We have had the body of our story where all the action is and all the characters are. And now we come to the conclusion. So the conclusion is where you wrap it all up in that nice little bow that we've been talking about. And it's where you leave your reader with a nice ending to the story that makes sense to them. And it refers back to that introduction and back to that writing prompt so that they know there was a beginning and then there's a final end to it. So as we look here, once again, let's look at our stop sign. We're going to delete that, backspace that, move it to the side, and let's look at our conclusion instructions. So we're going to write the conclusion to your story today. Don't forget to wrap your story up. You could do that by ending with character talk, a lesson learned, or a circular ending. Let's talk about a circular ending for the moment. Circular endings are where you have a beginning, so it was before, and then you end with the after, or it was then at that time and now at this time. So you're kind of bringing it full circle. Okay, so it all comes back around and around so that it coincides with one another. I kind of did a little bit of a pre-thing here where I did go back to my brainstorm and I copied and pasted from this last little thing, okay? So I could take a little thing here. I'm going to wind up deleting that because I took my story after the end there and I pretend I had included the fact that my brother got me home and my mom cleaned me up and she put a Band-Aid on me and then she put me on the couch and covered me with a nice warm blanket and my kitty cat climbed up on top of me. And so now there I am. Okay, so I have my conclusion. I'm going to say, as I sit here snuggled on the couch with my cat, I say to her, so remember, what am I doing? Oh, I'm using character talk. Muffy, I'm so glad to be home. It's no fun getting hurt falling off my bike. I sure learned a lesson, though. Remember, we say at a conclusion, we are going to talk about a lesson learned. So we're wrapping it up with the lesson learned. So here's the lesson that I learned. Never ride your bike too fast on a rocky road. Muffy looked up at me and began to purr. I guess she agreed with me. There's a nice, it doesn't have to go on and on and on. It's very short and it's just kind of in three or four sentences, just lets the reader know that we've come to the nice end of the story and we're not wondering about anything else, are we? So this is what I want you to be doing when you're doing your conclusion. And when we're all done, I want you to remember to look this over for all parts of it and make sure that you can check those off and that you've checked for your capitalization, you've checked for your punctuation, your spelling. Remember how I told you the trick with your spelling to go to the tools, click on the word that you don't know and that has a little red line and go to tools and spell check and that'll help you with that right there. All right. So then the thing that you'll have to do is next week we will work on revising and editing until we get to our final copy. All right. If you have any questions, make sure you're coming into my office hours.